So the reason you saw the frustrated face just now is because my tone kind of sucks. Actually, it sucks a lot. And the reason why my tone sucks right now is because I have not changed strings on this particular guitar in a year and a half. I know that sounds nuts. That was my protein snack. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys, actually, I'm not gonna show you anything. We're gonna do this together, okay? We are going to change strings on my 7-string guitar. This poor baby has not had a string change in, yeah, a year and a half. This is my ESP E-II Horizon FR-7. Now, there's 3 things here, and that is, it's a 7-string guitar. Granted, that's just one more string, but that does throw some other complexities in sometimes. Secondly, this does have a Floyd Rose tremolo setup here. Now, most of you guys are familiar with changing strings on a Floyd, so, you know, it's kind of basic. But if you're new to that, this video is going to help too. But lastly, I have never dealt with this before. This guitar has the GOTOH locking tuners on the back. Now, in theory, this should be really easy. You know, I've read some instruction manuals, I've watched some other videos, but there's some things that other videos have left out, and that's why I'm making this video, to kind of go through all of those steps with you guys. So this is going to be an interactive session here, and what I mean by that is if you see something that I miss, or if you see something I could have done better, or I just totally screwed up, I want you guys to leave in the comments, you know, what I could have done better, or what you would have done, or if you have some advice for everyone on here, because this is our metal guitar community, guys. We're all in this together, so let's get started. Oh, and real quick, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that and ding the little bell. Now, there's 3 things we need for this process. One is we need the string clipper. Now, I've got this little device, it's got the string winder. In theory, I should not need the winder part, but we do need the little clipper part. Coming to get you. Since we do have a Floyd Rose on this guitar, we're also gonna need our Allen wrench. And lastly, the strings. Yeah, we kind of need these. Now, for guitars that have a Floyd Rose tremolo, the first thing I do, and I'm not saying this is the right way, guys, this is just something I do, before I mess with any changing of the strings, I make sure my tuners here, let me take my whammy bar off, guys. 1 second. All right, cool. And I make sure all my tuner keys here are level. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a pet peeve. I want them to be like perfectly like level across the board here. So I know this is gonna change the tuning of the guitar a little bit, but I just make sure all those are level so that when I put my new strings on, they're just all in that same starting position. Yeah, I might have to tweak them, but for the most part, they should be about the same. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen our nuts up here, right by the headstock here. I'm just gonna loosen all of these here. This is just kind of like a basic starting point. Thou art loosed. Now I'm gonna go to the headstock here, guys, and I've got it turned around where you can see the GOTOH tuners here. This is the part that I'm kind of nervous about because I've never done it before, but I think we're supposed to just loosen this here. So I'm going with the B string, our first large heavy string, that's responsible for all the really cool metal tones. Well, they're all responsible for cool metal tones, but that's like the heavy, you know? All right, so I'm just gonna loosen this, guys. Oh, I'm so nervous, man. Seriously. All right, so that's loose. I'm not gonna loosen it all the way. That's loose now. Now, after I just loosened that GOTOH tuner there, I can really feel the difference in the tension. Like the tension is gone. This string is, you know, kind of flabby now. It needs to go on a diet. I feel pretty safe at going ahead and just removing the string. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna twist my tuning key around. You can see where this is here. It's just barely turned. And this is the cool thing about the GOTOH tuners, the locking tuners, is you don't have to wrap the string, or you don't have to have the string wrapped around your tuning key here several times. You know, there's just like not even halfway wrapped here. So I'm just gonna loosen this. So far, this is pretty easy. I hope that doesn't change. Now here's a little trick, and this is kind of getting into just like changing strings 101 type thing. As you can see now, I've got the hole lined up because this string can come out easily now. I'm not going to pull it quite yet, but I've got the hole lined up to where the hole is pointed straight down. You notice that? So it's already going to be set up for me to replace this string because that hole is pointed straight down, and I'll easily be able to just feed the string through there. So we'll get to that part next. All right guys, so I've got the B string out. Man, this is a thick string. It's like a mini bass guitar string. So cool. The next step, I need my Allen wrench again. The next step we have here is we need to loosen our Floyd Rose little piece back here so we can pull the string all the way out. Now, what I do, and I took my whammy bar off earlier. Now I remember why I had it on in the first place. This is just another little like trick. Again, some of the stuff you guys may already know, but to those who don't, I think you'll find it helpful. So because you've got less tension now, that bridge is going to be kind of floating at an angle down, right? So you're not going to be able to get your Allen wrench in there. Well, you probably could, but what I do is I just hold that whammy bar. Sorry, I don't have a workbench or anything like that. I just hold my whammy bar like that and just apply a little pressure to it. So this easier for me to just come in here and loosen this nut up here. All right, loosened up, the string fell right out. So now what I'm gonna do next is I'm not gonna take all the strings off. You guys probably already know this. Again, some of this stuff's gonna be like for beginners, but when you're changing strings on a Floyd Rose, when you have a Floyd, you wanna change them one at a time. So you take one off, put the new one on, take the next one off, put the new one on, and so forth. So let's finish up putting this B string on, and we're gonna get to the other side of this GOTOH locking tuner and figure out how this thing works, because I still don't quite get it, but we're about to learn together. All right, so taking the big B string out here, make sure I get the right one, the 56. Now, there's a couple ways you guys can do this. Some people like to start here. They'll place the string in here, tighten this up, and then they'll run it through up to your headstock here. And some may do the opposite. They may feed it through the headstock, right, and then go all the way down and then place it here. I don't know that it matters so much, but I'm gonna start with the Floyd end on it. I'm gonna, first, I've gotta clip this. Remember, we've got our little clippers here. So I'm gonna clip the end off here, just like that. So now I've got the string in here, I'm just gonna tighten it up. Now, you don't want these things too tight, right? Because I've actually had these little pieces in here snap before, and that's not cool. So the next part, pretty simple here. We're just gonna slide our string into the little plate here. And remember in the beginning when we had the hole already lined up, this is kind of where this comes in handy. So that hole on the tuning key here is already lined up, so it should just feed straight through. And I'm having a hard time with it. There we go. Now, one of the challenges I just ran into, and you might run into this your first time, is as you're trying to push this really huge B string through the hole up here, you might find that the hole is too small. That's really not the case though. Just turn around and make sure your GOTOH little tuner here, little wheel, is loose, is all the way loose, and that will allow that to just go right through there, just like that. And again, guys, if you have a better way, or if you have something, another method that's worked better for you, please leave that in the comments below so we can all learn from you. Because, you know, in this metal community, we all learn from each other. That's why I love our metal family so much. It's just full of cool people. So the next step is you've got your string through, it's all set up. We just need to tighten it. So the first thing you do here is you just pull the string. As you're pulling that string with just as much tension as you can give it, I mean, you don't have to like go Hercules on it or anything like that. But as you've got that string pulled, now you want to tighten down this part here in the back. And you want this to be pretty tight. I mean, hand tight should be good enough, but you want that to be pretty tight because you don't want that to, like, you know, pop off. Now, since that part is tight, I should be able to just turn the key and tune that B string. Now, if I were smart, I'd already have this hooked up to my tuner in the studio, but I do not, so I'm gonna do that now. But before I do that, I'm just gonna clip this part of the string off here on the headstock, so let's do that. Here's my clippers. All right, so that's one string down, 6 more to go. The changing of the strings is finished. Now we need to hear how it sounds. But there's one thing I did not do yet. I did not tighten these little nuts here. Now, I usually wait about a day or so to tighten these up, and that just gives the guitar, or gives the strings rather, some time to set in. And if I come back tomorrow and it's slightly out of tune, then I can just easily tune it with the tuners up here. Then I can lock this down. So just a little trick there. We just changed strings on a 7-string guitar with a Floyd Rose and the GOTOH locking tuners. Hey, I'd say mission accomplished, done for the day, let's go take a nap or something. Actually, it wasn't bad at all, guys. That GOTOH locking thing, that made the process way easier and faster. But again, guys, if you have any tricks or any methods of your own, or maybe you see something in the video that I did and you have a question about or a better way, please leave those in the comments, because we all learn from each other. In fact, in the description below, I'm gonna put a link to the blog post. I'm gonna get busy writing the blog post on my website, jasonstallworth.com. It's gonna be based on this video, but on the blog post, I'll be able to keep that updated. And I'll even, if you want, I'll even throw your ideas on that post and I can link back to you. So definitely make sure you leave the comments down there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and more importantly, I hope you got something out of it. I really hope this was helpful to you. Until the next video, as always, keep it metal.
They sent me back, they created me to destroy you. Everything you built, sabotage your work, eradicate.